Hello, everybody. Oh, good morning. It's been like 2 days, hasn't it? How is everyone doing? What's up, Zenyatta? This is a sponsored comment. What's up, dude? I'm gonna be honest. HXM. How am I supposed to say that? You're doing well? That's great. I'm glad to hear that. Today we are going over all of your VODs for 2 hours or less if we don't have enough VODs to work through. my time is yours. Whatever VODs you guys have, just send them in. Okay, cool. That makes a lot more sense. I thought it was hum, but I don't know. But all of your VODs, please do send them in. If I sound tired, it's because I got up at like 10. Now it's 12. And it's been a mythical morning. Just go ahead, send whatever you guys have in chat, and we'll work through them one by one. Eventually, I'll be big enough that I can have someone help me with a queue, but it's just going to have to be all from the noggin up here. Again, these aren't full-fledged VOD reviews. These are like 5 to 10 minute lookovers, because I feel like sometimes that's all people need. But I think we're good. Sorry. My girlfriend sent me a message. She thought she was being rude, but she wasn't. I'm like, you're chilling, bro. You're big chilling. But yeah, just send me any codes you guys have, and we'll start going over them. I still need to level up my battle pass, dude. I'm only level 23 on this account because I've been playing on all of my other accounts. Yeah, that's a problem. I actually really do need to start playing this game on my main, don't I? I need to start playing ranked. Good thing we have a tournament tomorrow, actually. So if you guys haven't already, go over and follow my Twitch, because I might, keyword might, be streaming a tournament, a LAN tournament, an in-person tournament, not at this home setup. Yeah. All right, cool. So we already have one person. Okay, it's Cassidy. So man, you guys are throwing some DPS VODs at me right away. Where do all the DPS VODs come from, y'all? Dude, I actually play DPS now. What the heck? I'm what 3-0 right now on this card. All right, let's see. We got some Cassidy gameplay. I'll help you as much as I can, but realistically, we shall see. So first up, we got Leo on Cassidy, and then we got Hum on Kiriko console. Okay, we got 2 console VODs. Cool. All right, let's see. Also, make sure that you guys tell me the name of your account. I'm assuming this is you. Honestly, right off the bat, Cassidy on this map is going to be struggling. Widow is just a better pick because Cassie's going to have a lot of damage fall off. So just keep that in mind. That's something you want to think about. Because that's maybe why you're struggling on this map if you're sending this to me. Alright, yep. Focusing out this Pharah. That's totally fine. You don't have to kill her. Yep, that's a good start. That's a decent angle too. Now I would just immediately get on cart and help my team probably to push. This is honestly fine right now. I mean, even though you're playing Cassidy, you're at least playing in optimal range, trying to play off of your tank. Your aim's not bad either. That's a good start. Yeah, okay. Your aim is fine. If I see 2 more fights where I don't really see any problems, probably just going to go from there. They have a Widow, so the moment that we kill that Widow, we can high noon. But we really have to just make sure we're not playing that Widow OS. Or we can high noon from here. Yeah, this is just a flex VOD, bro. I'm not. There's nothing to help you there. You're just walking through that lobby. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You were just walking through that lobby. You're not gonna get anything from me telling you, "Hey, dude, you're walking through the lobby. Good job. You flanked when they weren't looking at you. When you played out of the Widow LOS, it's pretty standard shit. That was good. They didn't look at you, but you know. Oh, this is Hum. Okay. You're very new to Kiriko. Well, hopefully I can help you iron out some stuff. We actually have made a video on Kiriko. What the hell? What the hell? Why are people playing this? Wait, this is open queue? Wait. Oh, wait, this is play versus AI. Do you have a VOD where you're playing against actual players? Sorry, I was a little confused. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't think I'm gonna be able to help you out a lot with an AI game. you're not going to get punished very hard against AIs that are like easy mode AI. While you find an actual VOD with real players, I'm going to switch. We're gonna play this one. That's why you tried to. Yeah, no worries, dude. I'm sure we'll have time to help you out again. I'm just gonna help everyone else first here, just because. Okay, Sabretooth on Ana. This is actually pretty interesting. Because you're a DPS player. Okay, number one thing on Watchpoint, and this is applicable to everyone. When you are playing support, your job is not to be playing on cart. Your job is to get on high ground and to stay there. That is your goal. You should be trying to get on this blue box here. Your team should be trying to help you get to this blue box right here, and that's how you win the game on both offense and defense. Control this blue box as much as possible. Get on high ground. If you're sitting down here, you are going to die 100% of the time. And if you sit here the whole time on defense, you're giving them blue box, and they have so many more options for you. You should always be taking height here exclusively. So again, you probably didn't do that, but I mean, maybe you did because you've been around for a while. But immediately right off the bat, it doesn't look like you're actually posturing to take this high ground. You're playing very slow, and you're just kind of like letting your team do the thing for you. On support, you have to be a lot more proactive and actually get stuff done here. Yeah, right here, this isn't really helping you. You're not getting any value out of this. You're just healing your team that's also poking from low ground. So the initial thing should always be like, usually what I do is I try to call for a sim to TP me over here. If I don't get that, I'm going to walk down here and just walk the long ways to this bridge here, because this is much easier to get stuff done. You can also call for someone to come up here with you and then force this out right here, and then wow, you got picks now. So that's that. Let's keep this going though. Just gonna 1.5 speed this because it's a lot of just nothing. Yeah, see, like, you're not getting anything done here. You're 33 all charge. Your team just died all around you. You literally cannot get anything done here. You have to find ways to get this high ground, and if people aren't going to let you do it, then you got to start telling people, to like, hey, I want to take this height. But the ball is, like, making space for you to go high ground. Making space for you to walk at least somewhere, not sit in the back. I'll watch one more fight. But that's your main problem. You're just sitting here doing nothing. You're not necessarily throwing because you're still healing your team, but it's like you need to take high ground here. Yeah, no, this is just you need to take height and be more proactive. You need to be supporting the play. Yeah, we're called healers. We're not called healers. We're called supports for a reason. We're gonna go to Zealed in Twitch chat, and then we're gonna switch over to all the ones that we got in YouTube chat. This is Plat 3 support. I'm the Blubster guy. Thank you for telling me your name too. That makes life a lot easier. All right, Blubster.
Real trap
Dragon
shit.
Curse the Fall. I appreciate you. We have a hog, so if you lose this game, it's likely due to that. It's gonna be very hard to walk with a hog. Number one thing though is just understand they're probably gonna have snipers, and don't play in the open like you just did and what your Genji did, because your head's gonna get taken off very easily. Make sure you're playing around corners and stuff, especially when you don't have a shield and you have a hog. Mostly here though, you're just gonna be playing to support your hog's hook, and being much more aggressive here. Like if you would have pathed better and you would have actually walked with your hog, that first hook would have been a pick, and you wouldn't have had to hit another hit. This is just overall a dangerous place to be. Understand that this wall would be much safer for you because you're denying an angle to them. You playing back here isn't really giving you anything extra that you couldn't get from just peeking out of this square that we talked about before. And if that doesn't make sense, just let me know. Let's just keep it going. Even if it's out of your comfort zone, Saber, make sure that you're not getting scared. Because that's why you're losing in those higher lobbies, is because you're not playing proactively. That's exactly what it is. It's the fact that you think you're worse than them that you're actually playing worse than them. When I'm playing against Overwatch League players, I play honestly more aggressive than I usually play, and it usually turns out fine for me. Sometimes I feed, but that means I learned my limits. Yep, aggressive nade. Almost got it on the back line. Honestly, I don't mind that. Right here, this isn't terrible. It could be a little bit better in terms of just like your overall understanding of where their Hanzo is going to be peeking you from, where the DPS are going to be jumping you from, but honestly, this isn't so bad. I would have went for the nade there. You don't have to go for sleep there. Nade is honestly an easier cooldown to hit. All right, let's see here, though. We have Nano Blade soon. We can keep it for that. Again, though, we want to make sure that, like, this angle up here, you want to make sure it's clear before you're going to start playing like this. I'm never looming in this area here because it's so easy for the person to just take an angle up here. That's the strongest angle in the game, like 100%. You should be playing to not let them do that and honestly just walking to this wall right here. What your problem seems to be, at least on this map specifically, is not respecting the different angles, because you should die here. Yeah, you probably should have looked for a sleep on the soldier top when you heard it. This is a lot of like small things. I can't really derive any habits. That was an interesting dash from... You could be peeling the Zen a lot better and just listening for it, but we'll watch one more fight. Still not really respecting that high ground. And it's definitely like you're taking a lot of poke, but you really don't need to. You just need to like overall understand methodically that what angles on these types of maps that DPS are just going to be chilling here poking you out. And just play off of that better. Instead of sitting right here, you could be sitting... I mean, you could sit inside, but honestly, you could just sit on this wall over here that denies this angle. There's a lot of options you have. You just have to make sure you understand that you have them. Didn't seem like a terrible VOD. A different map probably would yield better results for me to review on, just because Circuit Royale is a very weird map. But on to the next one. We are on Saki Doomfist. Dude, Junkertown. You guys are like psychotic to be playing these tanks on Junkertown. But all right, let's see. I'm not the best Doomfist because I haven't played him since his new thing, but I'm assuming he plays a lot like Doomfist, or not Doomfist. Of course he plays a lot like Doomfist. Plays a lot like Winston. I don't know. Let's see how you're making space for your team. I don't mind this. Honestly, don't mind this at all. Okay, I mind that. I mind that a little bit. So the reason why I didn't mind the star here is that you're allowing space for your Widow to just kind of like poke without worrying about anything, which is going to open up... This is all opening up an opportunity for her to pick the Echo. So that she's not getting shot from main. She can completely focus on what's going on back here, or maybe take an angle if she wasn't there on a Widow somewhere else. So this is all just like distraction, which is good. This is your job on Doomfist. Right here, I would have just immediately looked to get my power punch charged if he's going to start shooting at me, which is what you did. Problem is that then you went inwards, which, I mean, I guess you can leave still, but I would have waited, honestly, for your team to get ready for you to actually push. If I'm going to be honest, you have to kind of realize, like, okay, the card hasn't gotten pushed so far. You can just kind of chill. You got to pick. You guys are winning this fight. You kind of want to stagger him a little bit. If you just walk in here, it's very... You're going to... Like, here is harder for them to aggress on than you punching here, because now you're surrounded by their entire team. This is a little bit of an overstep in my opinion, especially if like imagine if that Tracer was a Sombra, you definitely would be dead here. You do get slept, and this is when it gets hard for you to get out, and you're probably gonna die. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like that's an overstep that you're giving them a little bit too much, because your team isn't ready to actually follow up on the stuff that you're doing. The start was good because the team actually let you do you let your team do something. This time it was like, okay, we pushed a little bit too far. Let's see if this persists though. Hello. Honestly, I would have just done the shift up, but hey, if you want to do the cool attack, that's fine. Yeah, honestly, again, You're taking engagements when your team just is not gonna help you. You have to understand that like Doomfist doesn't play like Overwatch 1 Doomfist anymore. He doesn't just go in, get a kill, get out. He disrupts things for a very long time if you set up before the fight even happens, and you can set yourself up for it. Like he disrupts this team a lot. The problem is when you just go in like this, you realistically should die every single time. They have a Zen Ana that you should get slept, discorded, destroyed. This is just way too aggressive, in my opinion. You make sure that like before you do all this, maybe you're like sitting right here and you're waiting for them to actually walk out of spawn here or take that high ground angle, and then you're going to slam on them, punch them into your team, and now your team just gets a free pick. It's about enabling your team, not so much just doing it all yourself anymore. At least that's from my experience of what works from my perspective. That might not be 100% right because, again, I'm not a Doom player. But that's what makes the most sense to how I would play it. Like right here, it's very hard for you to actually make space for your team because, one, they haven't all left yet. And also, you weren't set up in a good position with your utility already that you could have been like, oh, they're all playing here. Let me just walk behind them now and try to punch them out. Or let me just wait for the first person to walk out here, the Ramatra, and then punch him to the cart. Not punch him back into his team. There's just more methodical ways to displace their team than I'm just going to walk into him, punch him, and my team's going to carry. It's going to hurt you a lot. Luckily enough, they never got to touch point, but better elo teams would definitely have touch point there. Honestly, pressing E here so you don't die probably would have been nice. If I were to give this, it's probably like high plat, low diamond, I think, is what this lobby is, but I'm not entirely sure. It might be masters even. That right there isn't terrible because like at least you're not going to die and you're just getting alt charge. You have power punch now, so that's good. Now this is like again a part where we're starting to get a little bit aggressive because we're not helping our team at all. Our team is not set up to help you. You have to think about how you're going to enable your team. And on this map, it's pretty difficult, but still, it's something that has to be going through your head because I can tell it's not going through your head right now. Like, for example, maybe the way you want to set up in this fight is you know that the Ramatra is going to come up this way. Maybe you want to just like lurk in this stairway until you see the ram or hear the ram shooting out here, and then you punch the ram off the high ground, and now the ram's going to die to your team. Exhibit A of helping your team and enabling your team instead of, I'm going to jump in. All right, I got some alt charge. I'm going to get out. All right, I'm actually just going to go right back in again and get completely destroyed. So it seems like it's the same problem again and again. I'm not 100% certain if that's the necessarily correct way to think about it because I'm not a Doom player. But from what I'm seeing, that's what would make sense to me is I'm trying to enable my team here. I'm not Overwatch 1 Doomfist that just gets picks. If you wanted to just kill things on tank, just go like Reinhardt. I don't know. I feel like he's pretty easy to kill things. Ramatra too. I don't know. That's just my own experience. But now let's move on to console break. Okay. Console break. Leo from YouTube. History. Replays. One B2 CNB. There we go. Esperanza.
Ready for battle.
True nail clip, I'm assuming. Okay. Let's see how you play this. You have a Junker Queen. So realistically in this comp, you were just playing to smack thing. Smack thing very good. At the same time though, you don't have a Lucio, you have a Zen. So it all kind of depends on how your Zen's going to play this. Because maybe your Zen's going to play this like a ball comp and try to flank. So realistically, I would say you have to play with your Zen and try to enable him. And he should also be enabled by the Junker Queen. So everyone should be stacked. But it's not a perfect world. So you might be flanking a little bit with Zen. But that's kind of what I'm thinking here. don't lose sight of where your Zen is, because he needs help against that ball tracer, and that is your job, to boop the ball away. But right off the bat here, it seems as though we've lost where our Zen is. He's below us for whatever reason. Keep in mind that your bash does not stun anymore, so there's really no point in trying to bash a ball. You just got to be whip-shotting him away whenever he's coming in for the kill. That right there, your Zen didn't or path high ground. Your team got rolled. Realistically, though, this should all be about keeping your Zen alive and counter-diving the ball. Or countering the ball's dive, rather, with J-Queen Knife. Is kind of what this is looking like. Never be behind your Zen, always be in front of him. Anticipate where he wants to go and be the shield in front of him. You don't bash ball anymore, you whip shot him. Yeah, this is just very reactive, not proactive play, which is definitely hurting you. You're playing behind the Zen instead of in front of him, and dictating where he should go, which is your job on this character. There we go. Now we whip shot it. See how that makes life a whole lot easier instead of bashing. Just set up that kill for your team. Okay, that rally maybe was needed. I don't know. I don't think it was. He already had the ball pick. But I'm not going to be mad about that. Honestly, from what I'm seeing, make sure that you're whip-shotting ball. Make sure that you are playing proactive with your Zen and you are trying to be in front of him and brawl what he is shooting. Don't let him be just peeking out on angles without a shield or just like getting rolled on by a ball because you try to bash it. That's what I would say about that gameplay. It seems like that was a continuous problem. Moving on to Los. Learning Ana. That is good because soon we will be doing an unranked to GM on Ana. Jeez, that is 0. It is. And then next we have Nightcore. Alrighty. Ana on this map against an Orisa. Let's see how we make this work. I don't know. I think I just would path to high ground here because there's nothing they can really do to me on high ground. If they were on dive, though, I probably would go bottom left. But we just opt to take this angle right here. Yeah, I feel like high ground would make your life a whole lot easier to nade here. Your aim is also, like, really... I don't even know how to explain it. It looks like you're playing on like a Nintendo controller, like the way it like is so jiggity. Okay, now that is aggressive right there. Make sure that when you're playing against like, I don't know, Baptiste, Zen, Orisa comps, that you're not only nading Orisa. I like how you're being aggressive with nade. I can tell you've learned a little bit about just being more aggressive in general. But the thing is nading an Orisa with this team, you have a soldier, you have a Sombra, you have a Diva, you have a Baptiste. All of these players, all these characters rather, do like no damage to armor. And when she has gold, she's never going to die. Unless she has all of her armor taken away, she doesn't have gold, you're not anti-ing an Orisa. The reason why I'm saying take high ground is because then it allows for your divier comp. You have a Diva who's not necessarily dive, but she's a little bit divier. It allows her to get on better targets in the backline and actually kill them and create a reason for her to boost her in and not just feed. That looks like a, well, you can fill in the blanks. But I hope that makes a little bit of sense. That's what I got off the initial fight. It's just understanding that how you're going to be playing against different comps. When you're playing against a spam comp that has an Orisa, you're reasonably going to try to find something that your team's actually going to be able to follow up upon. And Orisa just doesn't die, so she's not the best target to just consistently anti. That's a good target to anti because you're going to get a pick off that. Cool, nice. But after you get that, okay, after you get that pick, you realistically should just dip. A little faster there, but they are kind of, they're a little bit slow to react to you. I guess you lagged out here. Honestly, I would still take high ground here because there's nothing they can do to force you off of it other than like maybe shoot a Hanzo arrow at you, but you can just play off the high ground smart. I would nano that immediately. You missed the nano there on a good target because they don't have a shield for it. Yeah, honestly, right here, now you're just playing really passive because you don't know what to do. High ground would allow you to have a little bit more input into the fight. Yeah, I would take high ground probably this map. Play more aggressively, even more so than you are against different types of teams that are going to allow you to play more aggressively. Right here, it just kind of seems like you're playing Ana like you're playing into dive. You have to understand when they have nothing to stop you from being aggressive on high ground, be aggressive on high ground. We'll talk about this next week, I'm sure, but I see that a problem a lot where you're playing like where people are playing very almost scared against Orisa and they're only nading Orisa and they're like, hey, I'm being aggressive with nade, why am I not winning? Well, it's because like you're nading someone that doesn't really get any value out of getting naded. But the problem is that was never a thing really in Overwatch 1. You just kind of antied anyone and it worked. It's good that you're being aggressive with nading your damage. Now you just have to take it a step further and think, okay, maybe I just don't nade the Orisa that has full health and gold because she's not going to die. Also, when they don't have a shield, Visor is a good nano. If they had a shield, Visor is no longer a good nano. There's a lot of just like small things that you'll just learn as you play more Ana. If you're trying to just start learning Ana, I think you're on a good path. You're not making any mistakes that are like huge. You're still making mistakes that you'll learn from, but it's not like you're creating habits of, oh, I'm just going to use nade for healing all the time. It's good that you're being aggressive with it. Now we are on to Nightcore. If we finish VODs early, maybe I'll play quick play with you guys to get Battle Pass, but I have plans at 2. And I also have videos coming out today, so I maybe not, I'm not sure. All right, we got on New Queen Street. How do you submit your VOD? Literally just put it in chat and we'll get it. You're behind a few people though. You got a lot of Ana VODs. All right, so step 1 is don't walk in a straight line into walls. This causes you actually to have to play from here instead of playing over here, which is where I prefer to play, but it's whatever. Whatever. Again, we're streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, whichever your preferred platform is, because I do a pretty terrible job of telling you that I'm on both platforms at once. Okay, just playing with your team. I'm chilling. Okay. I would be very aggressive with your damage after you hit that nade, honestly. But that wasn't terrible. Right now, I would just... Honestly, this whole problem is because we ran into a wall earlier. Instead of taking this angle from here, would have opened up a lot more opportunities for you in this fight. Because as the fight, they have to go back, you can rotate into it. It's not this weird rotation where you're here, and then you kind of go here, but then that's in their back line, and yeah. Honestly, I prefer this top out high ground angle, because then I can just take the fight from here. But, that was just weird because you were lagging off the rip, so we'll see how the next fight goes. I'm a fan that you're not pushing cart all the time. You're trying to help your diva. Maybe hit a little bit of Vaxta. I'm just messing with you because I know that you've been here a few times. I know we're chill. All right, now I'm okay with you pushing cart because this fight is reasonably going to be happening within the line of sight up cart. There's no high ground that you really need to stay alive here. Okay, so Diva mind game could be a little bit better. You can look at the ground and not throw nade. This is like one of the biggest brilliant things, right? You look at the ground when she's that low and just don't throw nade. And she's going to keep holding DM because what is she going to do? And then the moment she shoots you, you throw the anti-nade and then you win. If it's just you versus Diva, you can play with her mind so hard. And I'm sure I'll discuss this within the unranked GM if we ever go against a Diva. It's one of my favorite things. I think I talk about it in the Ana guide, which is like 3 years old at this point. Should I remake the Ana guide? It's the same information, just like it's the same information still, but like it's kind of, I don't know, maybe I will remake the Ana guide because that old content was so terrible. I was so bad at making content back then. But right here, the Diva mind game, like, you can just play that better. Don't invest all of your utility right at the start. She has DM. Try to make her play with it a little bit more. The nerfs make no difference. The nerfs make zero difference. Okay, let's just talk about this now while everyone's here. Roro from Twitch, good question. The Ana nerfs really don't mean anything. That's why a lot of the big creators were like, why? Why are we? What's going on here? The reason why they were like that is because Ana shouldn't be using her nade defensively anyways. For the most part, like only like 10% of the time am I ever going to be using nade to heal my team. I mean, it makes a little bit of a difference, but most of the time I should be using my nade aggressively anyways. It's only in really niche situations that it's going to make a big difference. Personally, I think it's a little stupid still because like in higher level games, sometimes I have to rely on my nade to like counter a dive, but I don't think it's that big a deal. Like the anti is the main effect of the nade anyways. And it is a little annoying that she just continuously gets nerfed. But some people think that she's problematic, so it is what it is. But the mind games could be better here. Sorry, I kind of kept everyone up here. That's a good anti-nade. Honestly, I'd walk in on that. You have a mercy. It's kind of like Zen. You hit a shot, and you hit an anti-nade. I'd try to finish it off before he gets healed again. Which also would have allowed you to understand that he was going to flank around you, and then, yeah, we can kind of see where this goes wrong. I'm okay with the way you invested Sleep Dart, though, because you knew that he had Visor and you wanted to kill him. I just would have wanted to see you be a little bit more aggressive. And a lot of this just kind of seems like, hey, I don't feel good about my mechanics, so I'm going to play a little bit shy even when I set opportunities up for myself. Don't do that. Just be aggressive. Trust yourself. Your mechanics will follow as you play more aggressive. You're going to throw some games, sure, whatever, but like in the grand scheme of things, you'll be GM eventually while the old you that was scared will just stay happily in the same rank. That's a good, I'd honestly, yep. That's good. Yep. That's what I was going to say. Back with your Diva. Good Sleep Dart. You don't have to scope from that angle either. Honestly, for you, I would say Vaxta, unscoped, half an hour a day. If that's boring you, play some on a paintball, unscoped only. That's how I did it. I also learned how to really aim on Ana, to be honest. Where you should rotate after you win that first fight? Honestly, this I'm not sure about that. You're kind of just you're just winning that fight and cleaning up. It doesn't really matter where you go. It's more so just thinking about where that next fight's going to be, which you're kind of doing. Yeah, sleeping the Bob here I think is good. And then just anteing it, trying to kill it. There we go. You don't actually have to anti it if no healers are alive. That was dumb. I thought a healer would get there, but they didn't. Don't need to use nade there. That's going to cost you this fight. Likely. Yeah, honestly, I would have liked to see you be more aggressive with the nade earlier. So your team maybe could have turned that, but I don't know. There's no like consistent thing I'm seeing here other than like you could be more aggressive. This map's hard to do that, to be completely honest with you. Like you're hitting good nades, your sleep darts aren't terrible. Maybe they could be a little bit more methodical in thinking about what ultimates they have and what ultimates you should counter. But this one, it's so hard for me to kind of see what's going on. Where should you take this next fight? I mean, realistically, like I'm never playing Ana on this map because there's so many different angles I could take. It really depends. Like if the fight's happening here, I'm usually just playing around cover. It also depends on what ults they have. Like if the Reaper is going to be playing up here and looking for a Death Blossom, then I'm going to have to change my positioning to over here. It's so situational. If I were you though, I think what would benefit you the most is not necessarily thinking about positioning as much as like being more aggressive off of the stuff that you're hitting and just playing more Vaxta, because some of the shots you're missing with some practice you'll be fine, and specifically unscoped. I feel like I might have told you that before, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. Who am I playing on New Queen Street? We're probably just going to be playing a Kiriko Lucio comp, but I understand that never happens in ladders, so here we are. We got Synset from YouTube, and then we're moving over to the ones from Twitch. And I hate how YouTube sometimes like messes up the font. And then the game can't like read it, which is weird. I would honestly lean away from quick play and just do the Vaxta. The Vaxta is the way to do it. Oh yeah, your code did send. I got you next. I got you next. I missed it. What's the name in this game? Is it B-Dog or is it Hey Jack? B-Dog, okay. Is there another one that's good? There's like the new one that is prompted. It depends. Like tryhard FFA is sometimes good too. Oh yeah, sorry. They have a hog, so realistically I'm playing to sleep anti whatever him all game, and they also have double snipers, so I'm looking to just play really annoyingly safe around angles. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Unlucky that we missed that. Could be more methodical with it too. That's a good nade attempt, but that's just a lost fight. Never scope into a sniper. Let's keep it going here though. I don't mind the new one, but I haven't played it a lot yet. Okay. Yeah, your team is just trolling right now. It's a good start. It's a good anti-nade. Alright, that's 2 picks. We're gonna walk in now. Okay, that's unlucky. Huh. Honestly, right there, you're doing a lot of like scoping in when you don't really need to, and it's causing you to have less awareness of what's going on overall in the fight. So I think that would be a quick thing that I would switch right away, to not scope in as much. Especially when you're playing against snipers too. Like this whole fight, you don't necessarily need to be scoping. Also, just completely disregarding what's going on other than the Rhine taking damage is kind of... Holy shit, that was loud. Not the best play in the world. That's a decent anti-nade, but I don't think you were going for it. This is also just like a really boring... you're playing into double sniper. You have a sniper. It's a very boring... That's a good anti-nade. Double sniper DPS driven game. Alright, she has sights. Now you have sights. Oh god, I hate double sniper.
I'm here. Keep fighting.
Don't go right side. I mean, like... If the sniper's gonna path down here, I guess it's free LOS. I guess they could see you from over here. It really depends on how you play it. I mean... I told you that it's free LOS for a sniper to play on the right side. If anything, right here would be free LOS to just get domed, or like everywhere over here. It depends on how you're going. I feel like it's situational, and not. I mean, like, if she's playing up here, it could be free LOS, but it's all dependent on where she is. Let's keep it going though. This is very just ZZZ boring. On into double sniper. Okay, nanoing a Rhine into a ball comp. Playing into a ball comp, nanoing a Reinhardt isn't going to get a lot of value because all these things can run away. So honestly, nanoing this soldier here would be a lot better because even if they try to run away, they don't have a shield to block him, and he's going to get a lot of value out of this. Now that he doesn't have nano too, he's also going to get one-shot headshot. Honestly, if I were you, the big thing I'm seeing, you're missing a lot of sleeps on really easy targets, so maybe hit the range, hit the vac stud, and try to focus on, especially with tanks, slow it down a little bit. They're bigger targets, but that means in our brain that we're like, oh, we don't have to aim as hard. Try to aim for Hog's belly button. Try to aim for the center of Ball's mass. It sounds silly, but we're missing a lot of sleeps against that, and it's costing us a little bit. I miss a lot of sleeps too, so I need to start hitting the range on that kind of stuff. But overall, from what I'm seeing, you're doing a lot of scoping. Think about your nano targets. Rhine is not always the best nano. Try to think about, like, okay, what's going to be good against what they have. And with sleep darts, try to not just whip them around. Try to actually aim them a little bit too. Try to get a little bit better at that. We're going to move to Homeland. Kiriko console. Man, I hate that it doesn't do that right. 207 XNA. Okay, view.
Arriving at watch point.
All right, watch point. All about taking high ground and keeping it.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload. All right, let's go.
It's a 4v5. Let's watch when you actually have 5 players, shall we?
Tactical visor activated. Tactical visor.
I mean, you said you were new to Overwatch, so I can understand this. If you're saying like, yeah. Big thing with Suzu is you want to make sure you're using it when someone's actually like critical. When someone actually is in danger and needs it.
Yours is never the round.
Trying to find like an actual team fight here. Game moves a lot slower.
Let the kitsune guide you. Surrender my will. Your assistance is
Hey,
I have a question for you. Human. I have a question. Step one. When you play the game, how often are you playing practice versus AI? Because if I were you, I would completely cut that out. It's not helping you at all. Whatsoever. I would almost strictly play quick play and competitive. 100%. Strictly. Just because that's a big red flag for me. Playing against AI, it's deceivingly, it does not help you. Honestly, Blizzard should just take that out of the game. I would just immediately walk into quick play, and I would look to just play more, learn more mechanics, and on the channel, let me actually get you a guide so that maybe it can help you understand the framework of the character before you just start like jumping in and playing, because that will help you out a lot. All right, later, Nightcore. Let me get you this to you. Because the more time you're spending against AI, the worse you're gonna play. I'll be completely honest with you. It actively hurts you. More than you realize. I think that might help you a little bit. Just a quick few little tips about how you should doing this. The big thing with, honestly, I don't even remember if this is good. Recall that kunai does 120 damage to the head, but that's something I can't teach. What I can teach is crosshair placement, so you can hit headshot. Yeah. The big thing with Kiriko is that you're healing your team. You're doing the rotation of two kunais and heals, two kunais and heals. Well, that's kind of cool that it like, whoa, that's awesome. Anyways, two kunais heal, and you're not getting too carried away with just damage, but you're still looking for damage opportunities. Is kind of how she's played nowadays. She might have changed playstyle, and now she might have changed over time. But I'm not entirely sure. To be completely honest with you, I would just hit the mechanics game and just try to learn how that character plays from like a very fundamental standpoint until you start thinking about like VODs and stuff, because VODs should be mostly used on like competitive games. But okay, I think we're done with everything on YouTube. I think I went through everyone that already put stuff on YouTube. So now we're going to go through Twitch. We have Atsu still. I don't know if Atsu's still in chat, but we're still going to look over it because, you know, looking at other people's VODs helps too. Replays. Atsu. What time is it? Dude, we've only been at this for an hour. Sheesh.
ready for battle.
What's the name? This is when things get awkward because I don't know the name. Yeah, no problem, home. I appreciate you coming out.
4, 3,
I'm gonna assume it's Anna.
round 1. Capture.
I don't know. What do you guys want to see? Because I don't think Atsu's here anymore. Awkward. Just a wee bit awkward. Okay, we'll see Ana, I guess. I don't know. I assume this would be him or her. Right off the rip, I can tell that your team isn't the smartest because you should just take top all the time. Unless you're playing like a hard brawl comp with Lucio and you're just gonna play point. But it doesn't seem like the team's doing that very great, but you can give the enemy high ground control, but you gotta like just set up on point and play like a different comp entirely. It's a decent nade, but I would love to be trying to kite the Genji back into my team, which is what this guy's doing. That's a good anti-nade. Heals the Ryan while not healing, or stopping healing from J-Queen. But overall, we could just be rotating the whole time quicker into the team. That's a good sleep. Oh, we missed that first shot. Happens, I guess, I suppose. All right, now we should take it from top. Every single, honestly, even if your team doesn't go from top, I'm going from top. This angle is just so good. I don't know why people don't take top every time here, but don't do that. This is a completely fine angle, and realistically, the fight will naturally progress this way, allowing for you to just take this high ground and find easier nades. Don't be forced to play with your team. That's what I'm getting out of this. Play aggressive with your nades, but also like play aggressively with your positioning to help you get easier nades when they're safe. Don't waste sleep dart when you know they have blade.